else did you do?
25 rumors about Hollywood actresses that were totally true. And here goes my vote. What if I told you that some of Hollywood's juiciest rumors about iconic actresses were actually true? From shocking scandals to surprising secrets, get ready to dive into 25 rumors that rocked Tinseltown. Number 25. Marlene Dietrich insured her voice for $1 million. Can you believe a voice could be worth $1 million? Well, for Marlene Dietrich, it was. Known for her sultry, husky tone, Dietrich made headlines when she insured her voice for a staggering amount. This was not merely a publicity stunt. It reflected the immense value placed on her unique vocal talent. Dietrich's voice, characterized by its deep, husky tone, was a significant part of her persona and appeal. She used it to great effect both in her film roles and her singing career, enchanting audiences worldwide. The decision to insure her voice was a savvy move, ensuring financial protection against any potential damage that could have ended her career. This act underscored how critical her voice was to her success and longevity in the entertainment industry. Marlene Dietrich's insured voice remains a testament to her exceptional status in Hollywood and highlights how stars of that era took extraordinary measures to preserve their assets. Number 24. Natalie Woods' mysterious death. What really happened to Natalie Wood? The beloved actress, known for her roles in West Side Story and Rebel Without a Cause, died under mysterious circumstances in 1981, leaving Hollywood and fans with more questions than answers. Her death by drowning off the coast of Catalina Island remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Despite being ruled an accidental drowning at the time, rumors of foul play have persisted for decades, casting a shadow over the tragic event.
Actress Natalie Wood is dead at 43, the apparent victim of a drowning accident off Santa Catalina Island in California.
Wood was on a yacht named Splendor with her husband, actor Robert Wagner, and their friend, actor Christopher Walken, the night she died. According to official reports, she went missing after an argument, and her body was found floating in the water the next morning. The initial investigation concluded that she had fallen overboard while trying to secure a dinghy. However, questions about the circumstances of her death have never been fully resolved. In 2011, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department reopened the case, citing new evidence and witness statements that contradicted earlier accounts.
Does that evidence lead you to believe that whatever happened to Natalie Wood was not an accident?
It does. It actually confirms my suspicions even more that what was originally reported isn't exactly what happened.
Some suggested that Wagner might have been involved in her death, although he has consistently denied any wrongdoing. The case was reclassified as suspicious in 2018, but no charges were filed. Natalie Wood's mysterious death continues to captivate the public, with speculation and theories about what truly happened that fateful night persisting to this day. Number 23. The passing of Peg Entwistle. Ever heard of the actress who jumped from the Hollywood sign? Peg Entwistle, a promising young actress, tragically ended her life in 1939, becoming an enduring symbol of Hollywood's dark side.
I'm sorry for everything.
Peg,
This is my
you'll
moment.
be missed.
If I had done this a long time ago,
A true movie-land tragedy.
it would have saved a lot of pain.
Peg and
On September 16, 1932, at the age of 24, Entwistle climbed to the top of the H in the iconic Hollywood sign and leapt to her death. Her passing is often viewed as a stark symbol of the darker side of the Hollywood dream. Born Millicent Lillian Entwistle in Wales, Peg moved to America with her family, where she pursued a career in theater. She achieved some success on Broadway, appearing in several productions and garnering positive reviews for her performances. Despite her talents, transitioning from stage to screen proved challenging. Entwistle moved to Hollywood, hoping to make her mark in the burgeoning film industry, but struggled to find roles. Despondent over her stalled career and personal setbacks, Entwistle's final act was a note left behind, expressing her despair. Her body was discovered 2 days later, and her suicide note read, "I'm afraid I'm a coward. I'm sorry for everything. If I had done this a long time ago, would have saved a lot of pain. Ironically, a letter offering her a role in a film arrived shortly after her death, a tragic reminder of the opportunities she never had the chance to embrace. Number 22, Veronica Lakes' downfall. What happens when Hollywood's golden girl falls from grace? Veronica Lake, known for her iconic peekaboo hairstyle, experienced a tragic downfall due to personal demons that overshadowed her career. Initially celebrated for her roles in films like Sullivan's Travels and This Gun for Hire, Lake's personal demons began to overshadow her professional achievements. Her alcoholism led to on-set difficulties and conflicts with colleagues, tarnishing her reputation in Hollywood. As her behavior became increasingly unpredictable, film offers dwindled, and she found herself out of favor in the industry. Lake's once promising career rapidly declined, and she faced financial hardships, eventually working as a barmaid to make ends meet. Despite brief attempts at comebacks, Veronica Lake's legacy remains a poignant reminder of the devastating impact of addiction and the fleeting nature of fame in Hollywood. Number 21, Judy Garland's treatment at MGM. Imagine being a teenager controlled by Hollywood's biggest studio. Judy Garland had more than just overnight fame to deal with. She was subjected to severe mistreatment by MGM, which fed her pills and controlled her diet. For years, it seems her struggles were chalked up to personal problems, but the truth has since become more widely known. Indeed, there's no denying that whatever Garland may have dealt with throughout her life was made exponentially worse by the systematic psychological and physical mistreatment she withstood.
Did you sit on his lap?
Yes, but...
You sat on his lap! What else did you do?
Number 20, Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaines' sisterly feud. Sibling rivalry taken to a whole new level. Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine were not just Oscar-winning actresses, but also lifelong rivals.
I know firsthand. Unscrupulous reporters did everything they could to sow hatred between myself and my own sister.
Their feud became the stuff of Hollywood legend. Throughout the 1940s, sisters Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine were dogged by rumors about their long-standing animosity. Even when photos surfaced of one actively snubbing the other backstage at the Oscars, the two largely kept it classy for the media, without necessarily denying the estrangement either. While they went through a lot over the decades, the tension was reportedly never resolved. De Havilland was famously cagey about their feud up until the end of her life, but Fontaine spoke more freely about it once the strictures of old Hollywood fell away. Number 19, Loretta Young's child with Clark Gable. What do you do when Hollywood's golden era collides with personal scandal? Loretta Young faced this exact dilemma when she secretly had a child with Clark Gable and went to great lengths to hide it. An ill-timed pregnancy could ruin a young actress's life. This was back in the day when studios often pressured expectant actresses to terminate pregnancies in order to keep their contracts. But Loretta Young, a strict Catholic, came up with a plan to hide her pregnancy and later claimed she had adopted the child. As her daughter, Judy Lewis, grew, she began to resemble her famous father, and rumors were rampant. Young didn't tell her daughter the truth until well into adulthood, but eventually she confirmed that Clark Gable was Judy's biological father. The darker truth was exposed after all three were dead. Unfortunately, the encounter with Gable that resulted in Young's pregnancy with Lewis was not consensual. Number 18, Jee Harlo was forced to marry. What if your studio forced you into a sham marriage? That's exactly what happened to Jee Harlo, Hollywood's original blonde bombshell who faced immense pressure to protect her image. She married her first husband on January 18, 1927, at age 15, and was divorced a few years later. Her second husband was killed in a gunshot accident, though there was much speculation that she had killed him. Then she had an affair with a married boxer. When the scandal threatened to become public, the studio forced her to marry cinematographer Harold Rawson. However, the marriage was for public consumption only, and they quietly divorced a few months later when the scandal was forgotten. Harlo did want to marry William Powell. She fell for him in 1935 on the set of Reckless and wanted to get married, have a family, and give up acting. But Powell was not reckless. He had just been divorced from Carol Lombard and thought the public might not like him to marry so soon. He also made it clear that he never wanted children. Powell's caution, however, only went so far, and Harlo soon found herself pregnant. Knowing that he did not want children and that the studio would not tolerate an unmarried mother, Harlo aborted the baby that she wanted and never told Powell what happened. Number 17. Tula Bankhead had multiple abortions. Tula Bankhead's name is synonymous with Hollywood scandal. Known for her wild lifestyle and multiple abortions, Bankhead's story sheds light on the extreme measures taken by stars to maintain their careers. At one point, she was said to have 185 notches on her bedpost, and she hadn't finished counting. Knowing that the studios would not have tolerated a pregnant star, Bankhead had 4 abortions by age 30. She wasn't the only one. The studios had established protocols for this contingency and booked women into hospitals under false names for vague procedures. They were attended only by their own doctors, and visitors were strictly prohibited. Bankhead was one of the few regular visitors to the hospital. She was briefly married to a man whose proposal she accepted because he's the only one who ever asked me. It didn't last. Her promiscuity was legendary. She had affairs with men and women, often in semi-public places, and made a practice of opening her door to visitors naked. She is even said to have flashed the audience while performing in a Broadway play, causing a priest and 3 nuns to walk out. Bankhead is said to have regretted her abortions later in life when she found herself unable to have children due to a hysterectomy performed after she contracted gonorrhea. Number 16. Patricia Douglas was raped. Imagine attending an audition that turns into a nightmare. Patricia Douglas was brutally raped at an MGM party, and her fight for justice was met with shock resistance from the studio. At 20, she was invited to attend an audition for MGM Studios. Unknown to her, the audition was a party being thrown by Louis B. Mayer for MGM's sales executives. The party had been in swing for 3 days by the time Douglas attended, believing that she might be getting her big break. Douglas was not worldly wise. She was a virgin from Kansas City, Missouri, who dreamed of being a star. She was not the only girl invited. In all, around 120 young women were bussed in to entertain approximately 300 drunken delegates at a remote ranch. Dressed in cowboy hats, short skirts, and boots, the girls were promised a hot meal and $7.50 for the entire day. Still, under the impression that they were taking part in a screen test, the girls had their makeup done and were told to wait on the set. Knowing that the film business was difficult and wanting to be professional, they waited for their cue. However, the sales executives believed that the girls were a different sort of professional altogether. Without transportation or telephones, the women had no means of escape and had to fend off the male advances as best they could. Douglas was brutally raped. Unlike others in Hollywood, she refused to be bought off and chose to press charges against MGM salesman David Ross. MGM hired the Pinkerton Detective Agency to dig up dirt on Douglas. When they could find none, they coerced people into claiming she was a promiscuous woman who had a sexually transmitted disease. The parking lot attendant initially said that he had seen her being attacked, but later changed his mind. Afterward, his children admitted that his later statements were untrue. Douglas's character was destroyed, and her assailant got away with rape. Number 15. Stuck in Hedda hell. Imagine living in fear of a single gossip columnist. Hedda Hopper wielded immense power in Hollywood, ruining careers with just a few sentences. Her influence was both feared and loathed. A failed actress, she began writing a gossip column in 1938. She quickly found success, and at the height of her popularity during the 1940s, commanded a readership of 35 million. Hopper was not shy about throwing her weight around. Calling herself the bitch of the world, she took delight in ruining careers and marriages with just a few sentences. Louis B. Mayer referred to this as head of hell. Her favorite targets were communists and gays. As a founding member of the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals, MPAPAI, she was one of the driving forces behind the Hollywood Blacklist, which denied employment to people suspected of communist sympathies. Some of her most infamous targets included Dalton Trumbo, a screenwriter who was blacklisted until 1960. Charlie Chaplin was also routinely denigrated in Hopper's columns because she considered him to be living an immoral lifestyle. A quick and easy way to get on her bad side was to give a scoop to Luella Parsons, her competitor and arch rival. And that's what happened to Ingrid Bergman, who lied about her pregnancy to Hopper and then told the truth to Parsons. Number 14, the story of Frances Farmer. Frances Farmer's story is a chilling example of Hollywood's treatment of mental illness. Her life was marked by erratic behavior, imprisonment, and dubious psychiatric treatment, making her a tragic figure in film history. A stage actress, Farmer made her Hollywood debut in 1936 and had a string of successful films throughout the decade. During the 1940s, however, the media began focusing more on reports of her erratic behavior than her career. Farmer was sentenced to 6 months in jail in January 1943. This came following an outburst in a courtroom in which she assaulted 2 police officers and threw an inkwell at the judge. From prison, Farmer was transferred to a sanitarium where she was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. After multiple stays in psychiatric hospitals, the actress mounted a modest comeback on television before passing away in 1970. You would think this would be the end of it, but in 1978, William Arnold published an account of Frances Farmer's life titled Shadowland, which asserted that while institutionalized, she was subjected to a lobotomy. Brooks Films turned the book into an award-winning movie called Frances and gave substantial credence to the legend, which is still prevalent today. Not as publicized is the fact that Arnold later sued Brooks Films and admitted in court that his account, lobotomy story included, was fictionalized. Number 13, Joan Crawford's abuse allegations. Joan Crawford's glamorous image was shattered by her daughter's memoir. Mommy Dearest exposed the abusive and harsh reality behind the Hollywood legend, forever altering public perception. In her memoir, Mommy Dearest, Christina detailed the harsh and abusive behavior she endured, painting a stark contrast to Crawford's glamorous public image. The book describes physical and emotional abuse, strict discipline, and erratic outbursts, shedding light on a tumultuous household behind the scenes. Published in 1978, Mommy Dearest became a bestseller and sparked significant controversy. Other individuals close to Crawford, including her other children and household staff, later corroborated some of Christina's claims, adding credibility to the allegations. Number 12, Clara Bs' troubled life. Clara Bs, the original It Girl, captivated audiences but struggled behind the scenes. Her life was marked by personal turmoil and mental health issues, revealing the often hidden struggles of stardom.
Why am I like this? I hate to get angry, but I just can't help it. Why can't I be like other girls?
Despite her meteoric rise to fame, Bs' life was fraught with personal turmoil and mental health struggles. Behind the glamour of her Hollywood persona, she faced numerous challenges that cast a shadow over her career. Bs' early life was marked by poverty and a troubled family background, which left deep emotional scars. As she transitioned into stardom, the pressures of Hollywood and the relentless scrutiny of her personal life exacerbated her mental health issues. She was rumored to have had several high-profile affairs and was often the subject of salacious gossip, which further destabilized her already fragile state.
I suppose you know you broke up my home. I didn't know that you were in a home. When did you get out?
Her tumultuous personal life, combined with the intense demands of her career, led to a breakdown that forced her to retire from acting at the young age of 28. Number 11, Pola Negri hosted a photo op at her boyfriend's funeral. Pola Negri's public display of grief at Rudolph Valentino's funeral was a spectacle. Her dramatic fainting spells turned the solemn event into a media frenzy, highlighting the blurred lines between personal tragedy and public performance. Silent movie star Pola Negri gave photographers everything they could ask for at the funeral of her lover, Rudolph Valentino. Negri fainted not once, not twice, but 3 times. The second time onto Valentino's coffin, where she dramatically declared that he had proposed to her and called herself his widow. Her final blackout took place in front of the $2,000 flower arrangement that spelled out her first name in red and white roses. Number 10. Joan Bennett's husband shot her agent. Joan Bennett's life turned into a real-life drama when her husband shot her agent in a fit of jealousy. This scandalous incident became front-page news, casting a shadow over her career. On December 13, 1951, Wagner confronted Lang in a parking lot in Beverly Hills. Fueled by jealousy and anger, he shot Lang twice, wounding him in the groin and thigh. Lang survived the shooting, and the scandal quickly became front-page news, casting a shadow over Bennett's career. Wagner admitted to the shooting, but claimed it was a crime of passion. He was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and served a brief prison sentence of 4 months. The scandal significantly impacted Bennett's career, leading to a decline in her film roles and public image. Despite the turmoil, Bennett managed to continue working in the industry, eventually finding success on television in the 1960s with her role on the gothic soap opera Dark Shadows. Number 9. Greta Garbos' reclusiveness. What drives a superstar to retire at the peak of her career? Greta Garbo, one of the most iconic actresses, chose to leave Hollywood and live in seclusion, adding to her enigmatic legacy. After a highly successful career, Garbo retired from acting at the age of 35, retreating from the public eye and becoming an enigmatic figure. Born in Sweden, Garbo achieved international stardom with films like Anna Karenina, Camille, and Nino Chaka. Her mystique and captivating screen presence earned her the nickname The Divine. However, despite her fame, Garbo was notoriously private and uncomfortable with the pressures of celebrity life. This discomfort with fame contributed to her decision to retire in 1941 after her final film, Two-Faced Woman, received a lukewarm response. Post-retirement, Garbo lived a life of seclusion, primarily in New York City. She avoided interviews, public appearances, and even declined lucrative offers to return to acting. Her desire for privacy was so strong that she famously said, "I want to be alone," a line from her film Grand Hotel that became associated with her real-life persona. Garbo's reclusiveness only added to her allure, making her a subject of endless fascination and speculation. She remained a symbol of Hollywood's golden age, a mysterious figure who left an indelible mark on cinema, but chose to live her life away from the spotlight. Number 8. Rita Hayworth's name change. Rita Hayworth wasn't always the glamorous star we know. Born Margarita Carmen Cancino, she underwent a dramatic transformation to fit Hollywood standards, changing her name and altering her appearance. Born to a Spanish father and an Irish-American mother, young Margarita had a naturally dark and exotic look.
I'm not very good at zippers. But maybe if I had some help.
I'll help you.
When she signed with Columbia Pictures studio head Henry Cohn, believed that her ethnic appearance limited her casting potential. To make her more marketable as an all-American star, Cohn persuaded her to change her name to Rita Hayworth, adopting his mother's maiden name. In addition to the name change, Hayworth endured painful electrolysis sessions to raise her hairline and soften her widow's peak, giving her a more conventional Hollywood look. This process was not only physically painful, but also a testament to the extreme lengths studios would go to mold their star's image. The transformation paid off, and Hayworth quickly rose to fame with roles in films such as Gilda and CoverGirl. She became one of the most celebrated actresses of the 1940s, known for her beauty, talent, and iconic status. Number 7. Elizabeth Taylor's marriages. Elizabeth Taylor's love life was as dramatic as any movie plot. Married 8 times to 7 different men, her tumultuous relationships kept the public captivated and made headlines worldwide.
If I was married to you 3 years, you'd have the living proof. You'd have 3 kids already and the 4th in the oven.
Her first marriage at age 18 was to hotel heir Conrad Nicky Hilton Jr., which ended in divorce within a year. She then married actor Michael Wilding, with whom she had 2 children, followed by producer Mike Todd, who tragically died in a plane crash. Her most infamous marriages were to actor Richard Burton, whom she married and divorced twice, their passionate and volatile relationship captivating the public. Taylor also wed singer Eddie Fisher, politician John Warner, and construction worker Larry Fortensky, whom she met at the Betty Ford Clinic. Each marriage brought its own drama and media frenzy, solidifying Taylor's reputation as a romantic icon whose personal life was as dramatic as any film she starred in. Number 6. Audrey Hepburn's wartime heroics. Before becoming a beloved Hollywood star, Audrey Hepburn showed remarkable bravery during World War II. As a young girl, she aided the Dutch resistance, risking her life to help others. Amid the German occupation, Hepburn risked her life to carry messages for the resistance, utilizing her youth and inconspicuous appearance to evade detection by Nazi forces. In addition to serving as a messenger, Hepburn also assisted in providing shelter and aid to downed Allied flyers, helping them evade capture and continue their missions. Her contributions extended to secret performances in underground Black Evenings, where she danced to raise money for the resistance, using her burgeoning talent to support the cause. Number 5. Mae West's risque persona. Mae West pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable in Hollywood, both on and off the screen. Her provocative persona and sharp wit challenged societal norms and made her a trailblazer in the industry. Known for her witty, double entendre-laden dialogue and unabashed confidence, West's persona challenged the conservative norms of her time. Her scripts often pushed the boundaries of censorship, leading to frequent clashes with Hays Code, Hollywood's moral guidelines. West's plays and movies, such as She Did Him Wrong and I'm No Angel, featured strong, sexually confident female characters that defied traditional gender roles. She famously quipped, "I believe in censorship. I made a fortune out of it," highlighting how her controversies fueled her fame. West's fearless approach to sexuality and humor not only entertained, but also paved the way for more open discussions about gender and desire in mainstream media. Number 4. Lupe Velez's suicide. Lupe Velez, known as the Mexican Spitfire, ended her life in a tragic and sensationalized manner. Her death highlighted the intense personal struggles faced by young stars behind the scenes. Born in Mexico, Velez achieved fame in Hollywood during the 1920s and 1930s with her vibrant and passionate acting style. However, her personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships and emotional struggles. In December 1944, Velez, reportedly despondent over an unplanned pregnancy and a failed relationship with actor Harold Marish, took her own life at the age of 36. She left behind a poignant note expressing her sorrow and heartbreak. Her death became highly sensationalized, with many lurid and inaccurate stories circulating about her final moments. Despite the tragic end to her life, Velez's legacy endures as a pioneering Latina actress who broke barriers in Hollywood. Number 3. Ava Gardner's wild lifestyle. Ava Gardner's passionate love life often overshadowed her acting career. Known for her fiery personality and high-profile relationships, Gardner's personal dramas were as legendary as her films. Her marriages to Mickey Rooney, Artie Shaw, and Frank Sinatra were marked by intense emotions and public intrigue. Gardner's first marriage to Rooney was short-lived, ending in divorce after just 1 year. She then married bandleader Artie Shaw, but this union also quickly unraveled. Her most famous and volatile relationship was with Frank Sinatra, a romance filled with dramatic highs and lows that captivated the public. Gardner's wild lifestyle, characterized by her fiery personality and love affairs, often overshadowed her acting career. Number 2. Grace Kelly's royal transformation. Grace Kelly's life was a real-life fairy tale. At the peak of her Hollywood career, she left it all behind to become Princess Grace of Monaco, captivating the world's imagination. Known for her roles in classics like Rear Window and To Catch a Thief, Kelly left the film industry in 1956 to marry Prince Rainier III of Monaco. This union transformed her from a Hollywood star into Princess Grace of Monaco. Kelly's marriage to Prince Rainier was a fairy tale come to life, captivating the world's imagination. Her transition from on-screen siren to royalty required her to embrace a new role with grace and poise, duties that she fulfilled impeccably. As Princess of Monaco, she dedicated herself to charitable work and raising her family, stepping away from the limelight of Hollywood. Grace Kelly's royal transformation remains one of the most fascinating chapters in Hollywood history, highlighting her ability to navigate and redefine her identity in two vastly different worlds. Number 1. Thea Baras' exotic image. Thea Baras' exotic image was a complete fabrication. Born Theodosia Berg Goodman, the studio crafted her mysterious persona, transforming her into one of Hollywood's first vamp characters. Studio publicity portrayed her as a femme fatale with an enigmatic background, fueling her allure and public fascination. However, the truth was quite different. Bara was born Theodosia Berg Goodman in Cincinnati, Ohio, in 1885. Far from the exotic origins suggested by her screen persona, she was the daughter of a local tailor and grew up in a typical Midwestern environment. The studio executives at Fox Film Corporation crafted her mystique, giving her a stage name and a fabricated biography that hinted at Eastern European and Arab descent, complete with fabricated tales of occult studies and ancient lineage. The exotic image helped Bara become a massive box office draw, starring in films like A Fool There Was and Cleopatra. Her portrayal of seductive, dangerous women captivated audiences and set the template for the vamp archetype in cinema. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button and subscribe for more juicy Hollywood secrets. Check out our other videos for more fascinating stories. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. See you next time.